There's Tormund, my boy. He's been going outside when we open the door now, so. Hi everybody, welcome to the show. Today is episode 78, and we will be planning June projects. We have a very late start because the next door neighbors, landscapers were here, and then the across the street neighbor, not those ones, the elderly woman, her landscaper came, and her landscaper is one guy, so it takes him like 40 minutes to do her thing. So I've been sitting here ready for 40 minutes. So I got some extra stuff to show you today. So we have whips, finished item. I'm also going to give you some blocking tips using things you might have around your house. We also have squishy mail, and then I'm going to go over some projects that I have planned for June, which is weird because I was like thinking it was June, like this month was June, and then I was like, wait a minute, that doesn't make any sense because it's just my birthday. And so I have a hard time processing time, actually, like hours, days, dates, and I think a lot of it is because every day is the same for me. That every day is the same. There's not a lot of different. Even in my hours of my day, everything's the same, which is why I try to break it up into different, like I try to do my morning till my husband's off work in this room, and then when he gets off work we go to the living room, and then we're in the living room until then the bedtime. I go in my room, so I try to split up my day by that time, and even then it doesn't, like, it could be noon in here, it could be 4 o'clock, I don't know. I have no concept of time. I don't know what that rant was about. Anyway, who cares, right? There's Brienne, my kitty cat. So let's start with what I'm wearing. This is one of my tops. I call it DK knit top. It is a there's a worsted top that I base this off of that I guess always forget, don't I? I think it's Curvy Girl bra top something. It's way down in my projects. It's like the very first one I made. And that one is made bottom up. So I just, Girly Knits bra top. Why do I think Curvy Girls? Girly Knits bra top by Lauren Riker. And, it looks like this. This one is made, bottom up, and I, wanted something more of a tank, and, wanted top down, so that I could use up every little bit of yarn that I have. So I just did it, and then I switched it to also be DK. So I make my tops out of worsted or DK. Hi, have you never been here before? I feel like I just want to explain them every time because if you want to make this, I would recommend making the Girly Knits one, unless you want to take a stab at reading my pattern. That is only graded for one size, but if you did whatever sizes she has available, because it's a free pattern, right? Yeah, it's a free pattern. You could look at my thing, because I think I have a picture of my printout. I think I took a screen capture of it. So you could make your own if you are that advanced, where you could probably change the size too. Actually, if you want to and you know how to do gauge and measure yourself, I could help you if you want me to help you make this in a different size. Otherwise, I would suggest going by her stuff, because that's really what I did for the worsted one, was go by her stuff and make sure it fit, and then I could grade it for DK weight. Yeah. Oh, the yarn is from Knitcrate. It is Vitellana Lofty DK, and the color is Tiger Lily. This was a couple years ago. I don't even remember. Came with a purple one, which I also got. This is the yarn that we're going to see today at Squishy Mail. Okay, so let's start with whips. Can we start with whips? My main whip. Well, my main whip. I have two whips. So one is the top that I've been doing. Wool. Oh, goodness. Blue Sky Fibers. Wool stock worsted, which I'm actually working it as a DK because the yardage is DK, and I 100% fine Highland wool, 150 grams, 370 yards. Yeah, it's 4 to 8 millimeters. I'm using a 3.5. It's like a double. I think it's a two ply. Where was that word? 2 ply. It's pretty bumpy. I like it, but it's not very thin. I mean, it's not very thick. So I used. I did this on the DK pattern because of the way the yardage was, because that's a good indicator for me of the yardage. So we're almost done. I'm just going to use up the whole thing. We got maybe 20 grams left. So I work this till about 2.5 grams, and then I do the bind off. And I just bind off wherever I am, because you can't tell where the bind off is. Love this color. Really, really, and it's really, really soft. Really soft. It's so soft. It really, really is why it's my favorite. Oh, this is fine Highland. So this isn't Peruvian Highland. So wherever, does that come somewhere else? I don't know. Anyway, that should be done by next time, hopefully. The other, this is my big one. This is our brioche shawl. I don't want to say it was that other pattern that I plan on being, because I changed the pattern and I'm actually using my own pattern as the base, my Eleanor, which is free on my website. And then what I'm doing is the beginning of Eleanor is you slip one, knit one, and then you yarn over, and then you knit the next one. So I'm doing that for the first row of the brioche band, because it's a 4-row repeat for brioche. So the first one is your main color, right? So at the main color, which is actually my contrasting color for this part, because you switch them. So it's actually, the main color is my contrasting color. So that is like your main row. So that's where I'm doing the increase. So then your second row is your contrast color, which is actually my main color because I switched them. And that is, so these are the knits. This is the purl, right? And so my purl is on the back. So I'm able to, I don't work my contrasting color, I don't work that all the way to the end, because my brioche is only after this eyelet, so I can keep the eyelet detail through the shawl. I wanted to keep the eyelet detail. So I work those stitches only with my new main color. So 1 row front and then 1 row back. So the second row that is done with the contrasting color doesn't pass my eyelet. It does not pass that. So I stop work right before, so there's only 3 stitches. So I do a yarn over, a slip with yarn over as my last stitch on right before the one that was the eyelet. Does that make sense? So the rest is brioche, and then then the last stitch is just knit on the main color, knit and slipped, and then it's knit the first round. So your first one where I make this increase, I also knit the last stitch, just plain knit, and then every other one is just slip it. I don't put a yarn over with it or anything. It's just like a salvage, just one, like I do yarn over the one before it. So then that's always slipped going back. And then I just finish the back as normal, the last three as normal for my main color. That's probably way convoluted and you're not going to get it, but that's okay. I don't expect anyone to make this. If you want to make something similar to this, I'm not writing this out. I would just tell you to go by Lisa Ann's pattern to use hers, because it's probably way easier than figuring mine out. So we have only the one. Where's my microphone? Okay. We have only a few of this because I decided to go to 30 grams and then start the brioche. So it's hard. There's hardly any of it there yet. But it's super soft, and it's not as hard to do as I thought. And I'm keeping track of how much each one, each repeat costs me in both yarns, because I'm flipping halfway through, so there's some predictive math I gotta do. So I figured I wasn't gonna do the other color, the new color, because I'm not gonna run out of that, but then I decided that's the one I'm actually doing the main color, so that'll switch halfway. It doesn't matter. So those are my two projects. I had another project. I was doing the other cropped top in the green, and I got to, where am I? 10. Okay. I'm not even close to finishing that. And the problem was my finished object, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I tried it on. It was really, really a small, and which is weird because I make all of my tops. These are the ones I made a little while ago. All of these are the same size. So the one I made, out of the claret, I wanted to show you how I block them. So this just felt small when I put it on. The breast area felt too small. And I was like, this is weird, because they're all made the exact same way. They're made the exact, so these are all the same. The only difference is in blocking. And fiber content of the yarn. So, like, my cotton is going to end up a different size than the Peruvian, the Highland wool. This is from Wool to Dye. No, the other one, Wool of the Andes. Knit Picks Wool of the Andes. So these are two different weights and two different fiber contents. So this is 100% Peruvian wool, and then this is, look at how much. Now this stretches. This is wool, so this stretches. Okay, this is cotton, so it doesn't stretch as much. But these are the same, with the different gauges, they measure the same size. So this is the difference in wearing, well, this tan one hasn't been worn. It's been blocked, but it hasn't been worn. The green one has been worn. So this is the difference in not only these were made to the same gauge, to the exact same gauge. So this is what happens with wear and non-wear. So this is, I'm just saying, this is, they all fit differently depending on the fiber content. Like, this is what happens. So when you're looking at a pattern, it's really kind of important that your yarn is similar as you can get it to the yarn that the person has used. This is why sometimes our projects don't work out. And it's not always your fault. It's just how different fiber contents work up differently. So this is our finish. This is the crop top. This was Cascade 220. The color is 9572 Cabernet. And I wanted to show you how I block things. So this would have been wet and come out of my spin dryer, and what I do first is, in order to stretch the straps, I do this. I just do this. I strap like this, and then I zhuzh here at the ribbing, and then I just put it over this thing, which is white, so you're not going to be able to see it. And then what I do is I cross the arms over, and then I pull it down and try to make it like straight around here. So I wanted to show you, and this one, I had so much left over, I probably could have done a few more rows, but it doesn't matter because it's not, that's not going to make it any longer. But that's kind of, I'd like to just have that much left. Because the join is invisible, so it doesn't matter where you do it. It's just where it goes. So I wanted to show you things I use. This is something from my husband. I am allergic to whey. I have a whey allergy to whey, and my husband is always drinking these shakes because he's like he likes to work out. So the cookie butter. So I wanted to show you that you can use things that you might normally throw away, and this cannot be recycled where I live, so I was loath to throw this away. And I can tell you that it measures 26.5 inches. So to me, I think my underbust is like 28. So I was like, oh, this is close enough to get me because remember, when I do the 28 on my Peruvian the Andes, they get too stretched out because they're going to stretch some when I put them on and wear them, especially the cropped ones. The cropped ones especially stretch out a lot. So because these were stretching out too much on my other blocker, I needed something just a little bit smaller than 28. And I only do 28 because the cups don't matter because there's nothing in the back, right? So the cup doesn't matter because it's not doing anything. It's really not. It's just covering. So you could see it just has to fit around my underbust, which is where this goes under your bust, okay? So that measurement right there on me is 28. So it just has to stretch to 28. So if I can get these to stretch to 26, they're going to stretch out to 28 on their own because my gauge is already there. Do you know what I mean? So this is enough that I can block these on there without them getting too stretched out, which means they get stretched out enough, and then the further stretching comes to conform to my shape. Does that make sense? Because it's made for actually, I think it's made for a 32, to be honest. I think that's what I gauged to, but I'm not sure. Anyway, what I've talked about before is I have a pretzel thing. And this is, this again, can't, This is not recyclable in my area. This is 21 inches. Oh my gosh, isn't that amazing? Because do you know how big my head around is? 21 inches. So I use this for hats. I use this for hats and headbands. So what I do is, well, I put it upside down. I haven't even rinsed the salt out of it. So when I put my hat, in my hat, it has been soaked and then gone through my spin dryer. I just zhuzh it. This is zhuzhing. You just go around and zhuzh. Then I put my thing upside down and I put it on my thing like this. And I make sure that it's even on the bottom. I just make sure it's even all the way around. And that's my hat blocker. And it sits on my counter like this overnight. And don't worry about this, because this isn't going to matter. It's not going to flatten out or anything. In fact, look at that pinwheel increases. It's really pilly. This is a hat that I sleep in when I take a nap on the couch, because I pull this over my eyes and it blocks out all the sun. It's great. So this is how I block hats. So if you have big, giant plastic things that can't be recycled anyway, you might as well put them to use. So that's my advice to you. Plus, you don't have to blow up a balloon. I've seen people use plates. I've seen them blow up balloons. And I'm like, this is just super easy. And then, like, every time we get something, we're measuring it. Like, oh, what will this fit? You know, will this fit something? Because that's how we do, I guess. Today's squishy mail is from Knitcrate. They are not an affiliate or anything. They are not a sponsor. I paid out of pocket for these. Obviously, because nobody watches me. So this month, I got all 3 colors. Because this month, May 2022, is this base. This base. Which is my absolute favorite base for anything, but I've only made these tops in it. But I would make other things in it, I guess, but so far I'm not that thrilled with the colors they've come in. The purple that I didn't bring out here with me is probably my favorite one, and it's like a lavender color. So they don't come in dark colors. Like, they are all with this heathered almost with this undyed. Even this one is probably more dyed. This one and the purple are probably more dyed, but they're still like not completely, like, it looks almost striped. So, but I absolutely love the fibers. I love how they feel. I love how they fit. I love how they wear. I love the cropped tops are the perfect size. They stretch out to be the perfect size, perfect coverage for me. Same as the tops. I think I do 30 rounds of ribbing after I make the cups. I think I do 30 rounds, and then the rest I just make the top. Brianne is chasing a stink bug again. Of course she is. So what was I saying? These are my favorite. There's like right there. That is a mouse toy. It just always looks like a dead mouse. Just everything about it I love. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's not scratchy. It's soft. And the only drawback is because it's cotton, it does get a little loose. It's not as hugging as I would like it, but I've still never it's not a problem for me. So let's look at the colors that I got this month, because I got all of them. First one is the blue color. So let me go this way. Knitcrate. Watercolor is their theme. Whatever, I don't care. So, here we get the Katrinkles stitch marker. It's a progress keeper. It's not a stitch marker. It's got a lobster clasp. It is a person painting a ball of yarn, which makes no sense to me. I'm not a painter. I don't paint. But it's this weird holographic acrylic thing, and it just looks weird. I don't know why they gave us those. Anyway, this is the blue color. It's a nice sky blue. This is Vitellana Lofty DK. 48% merino wool, 20% baby alpaca, 32% organic Pima cotton, DK weight, 274 yards, 100 grams. This color is called Hydrangea, and it is really a sky blue. It looks like sky blue and some clouds. It is absolutely gorgeous. That looks like it's kind of getting blown out, yeah. It's a light color. It's really comparable to the green. They're pretty similar in the way the yarn is. Now this is a chainette. So it looks kind of like an I-cord, which you're not going to really be able to see on this color, I think. Which I wasn't sure, the first time I got this yarn, I wasn't sure if I was going to like it, because this is the first chainette I ever worked with, and I was like, I don't know if I'll like a chainette. I love a chainette. I think it's because I'm a loose knitter. Here we go. All day long, these two, they are best friends. It's ridiculous. I'm a loose knitter, so having that extra bulk, it helps me. But it works up just as any other DK that I have, other than, you know, it has cotton in it, so that makes it different. Okay, the second color I got is this really bright yellow, which is all blown out, isn't it? Ugh, it's all blown out. Okay, so you're not gonna get to see this one. What if I put it here? Oh, here, under no light. Oh, there, kind of. It's a warm yellow. It's very daffodil. Yes, I would call this daffodil. It's almost an orangey yellow, like a sun yellow, like a daffodil. It's a very warm yellow. I'm upset you can't see it, but I look really good in yellow, so I got yellow, and I was hoping it would be a cooler, less bright yellow, but it's not. But that's okay, because then I can wear black and I look like a bee. I look like a bumblebee. It'll be fine. Did you notice that I'm wearing this orange today? See, now I'm getting blown out because the sun's coming through right there. That's not helping, is it? Because it's right there. And the same Katrinkle, we get the same thing in every. Oh, the month I get all three is like has an extra that I couldn't care less about. So daffodil, hydrangea. Pretty sure this is rose something. Okay, so the last color is a little bit peacher than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be a little bit more pink. It's very, oh my, I can't see this one either. It is a very salmon colored. It's very close to this. It's just a little bit peachier. Like, it's not very pink. This is called spray rose. I don't know if that means anything to anyone that knows what a spray rose is. I feel like I almost see the sun's coming in here. I can't get the sun shining directly down on me. This is really, really peach. I'm hoping, no, I don't think there's any way you could confuse this for pink. It's a pinky peach, but it's really like a salmon color. Like a, like a, like a pastel salmon, which isn't a peach really. You know what I mean? It's pinkier than that. Not my favorite, but I'll still wear it. Like, I think if you wore it with something, it would look pink, but if you wore it anywhere next to pink, it's gonna look peach, which is why I'm not sure what it's gonna do with my pink undertones. I'm not sure. I'm surprised at how I'm not hating this orange on me, to be honest, because I don't really, I hate the color orange and I hate the color brown, and it's kind of like an anxiety thing. Like, they make me anxious. So I've been wearing this to kind of like, do you have like OCD moments where you're like, okay, we know the whole OCD of, did I leave the oven on? Okay. But then I have other, like, this is maybe more of, this used to be part of my OCD that I don't have anymore. Because I wonder if it was part of my PTSD, and then when I got rid of that PTSD, then I didn't have that connection to the things that was making the obsessive compulsive actions, because there's a thought and then there's an action, right? And I think I fixed that part of my PTSD, that I didn't have those specific thoughts with the compulsive actions anymore. Do you know what I mean? So I think that's why I don't have it anymore. But one of them was one of my obsessive thoughts still is, I do get them, where certain colors are unlucky, which I know doesn't make any sense. So orange is one of those things that I don't like to have it. I don't like to see it. I don't like to use it. Orange and brown both are those unlucky. Like, if I wear them, something bad's going to happen. If I put them on something, something's bad is going to happen if I see those colors. Which was a belief I had for a very long time, where things were lucky and unlucky, and it severely impacted my daily life as to where I was working, and I had to go a certain way to work every day, and the parking lot had 2 ways you could go in, and I had to go in the same way every time, and I had to make my way to a specific parking spot the whole time. Thank God that parking spot was always open for me, because no one that didn't work there wanted to park that far away. Anyway, why am I telling you this? It doesn't matter. It's a big deal that I'm wearing this orange top right now. I was even thinking of dyeing it black, because at least like the parts that are orange would be dyed black then, and I might be left with some like uncolored bear. So it would just be heathered black and like bear yarn. But then I'm like, I would still know underneath that it's orange. And then I might not wear it. And then I'm like, if it's black, I'd probably wear it. But I'm literally not sure what I would do in that situation. So I am not doing anything. So I'm trying to wear the colors. Also, mint green is another one of those colors, which is weird because I love the color mint green, and like mint green, baby green, pear green, all of that similar colors, minty greens. I love looking at them, but again, it's a bad luck color for me to wear. I don't know why I tell you guys all this crap. It's probably because I know no one's listening, and I can say it out loud, and maybe it'll go away. But no one's here to hear it, right? It's a tree falling in the forest. Anyway, that's one of those colors for me too. But I love looking at mint green. I feel like wearing it is a bad omen. It's a bad omen, so don't do it. Which I don't like to be controlled by such an obsessive thought that I try to. Which is weird because it doesn't matter how many times I wear it, it still gives me that feeling. Like, remember I made that cowl, the bonjour, out of that mint green alpaca. Oh God, I loved it too. And I frogged it already. It's in wound up in cakes. That's how much that obsessive thought was getting to me, that that I frogged. I frogged the whole thing. I don't know what I'm going to make with it. What am I going to make? It's already cut up and been made into the same thing. I don't know why I did that. I should have just left. Oh, you know what? I think I was going to remake it with the new neck. And then, I don't know why, because it's not like I'm going to wear that out. I should have kept it with the regular neck to wear to bed. I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking. Who knows what I was thinking? Because we know that can't get made into a top because I already tried that. Anyway. What? I was thinking the other day. Okay, I was watching Stephen West's podcast. Have you watched it? It's fantastic. Oh my God. He is like a bright light of sunshine, right? Like, I feel like I am the antithesis of him. Like, I am the anti-Stephen West. Like, as much as he is like sunshine and rainbows, I'm like storm clouds and rain. Right? Like, he's so kind and nice, and I'm like pessimism and sarcasm, right? Like, I want to be like that. I really do. I really want to be that bright light, and I can't do it. No matter how hard I try, I just can't. This is me. This is what you get. And that's why I have 50 subscribers. Have you seen that? The Mayhem, you know, the Mayhem guy, the Mayhem commercials with, I can't remember his name. I love him though. The Mayhem, is it Allstate, whatever? The insurance. The Mayhem guy, he's like, I'm a 15-year-old girl, whatever. So he's outside, he's doing this TikTok challenge, right? And he's like, this is going to get tens and tens of views. And I laugh every time because that's me. This is going to get tens and tens of views. Maybe 11 if I'm lucky. Hey, please like and subscribe, hey. So anyway, what are we talking about today? Planning June projects. Okay, so June. June. Are you Smashing Pumpkins fan? Do you, every time that June rolls around, do you just think of By June? Because I do. Anyway, okay. Planning June projects. Well, you know what, guys? I was going to say that when I dyed this space before, it was for another dye project. We did the garter snake cowl, and remember I said that I had lost the halo, and as I'm looking at this, there is no halo, which typically from Wool to Dye For, this is a very soft and halo-y base, and I thought I did something wrong, and I didn't, because there really is no halo to this. So now I'm not sure I want to use this. So that doesn't matter. What does matter is our dye project is going to be the Calypso Shawlette by Pink Mambo, which is Carolyn Christmas. I want to say that's not her real last name. Calypso Shawlette is a crochet pattern, and it looks like this, which is nice and summery. It's only 380 to 390 yards, which is why I picked this, because it's 400 yards. So we wouldn't have any left over. We could also, it's a very easy pattern, we could go up a side, we could use a thinner yarn and make it. Now that I see this doesn't have much of a halo on it, I'm debating on what I'm going to do. So I don't have a list of my list of bases is in my dye book, which is not what this is. My podcast book, my dye book is a different book. But I know this is the only one that's like 400 yards. So And then my sport weight, 380. We could do sport weight, but my sport weight doesn't have, I wanted something kind of fuzzy. Here was my thinking was, I wanted to bake this because I was like, oh, let's see if baking doesn't destroy the halo. Like I was going to do with some mohair. But I'm at a loss of what I want to do this month for a dye project because I didn't have anything planned. So this really doesn't have much of a halo on it though. So now, like, I wanted to try baking and see what happens if we baked a colorway, because I've never done a. Usually I do it if it's single color. I do it in a stock pot, or I do it in my cooker. The I have the chafing dish with the actual double boil, it's a thing that you see at a catering place. It's a catering cooker with the chafing dish in it that you put the yarn in. It has a top. It's not a cooker like a crock pot. So those are typically the two ways I'll steam it, which I don't do a lot of hand painting, so I don't do a lot of steaming unless I speckle. I think I've done that like twice, and it worked out one time. So I wanted to try baking it, putting it in. I was going to heat everything up in my chafing dish and heat it up first, and then color it with, dye and acid, and then continue baking it, because that's how, like, everyone's doing those big warming, what do you call them? The warming cabinets, the big indie dyers, that's what they do now. They don't do it. I mean, some of them still use the cooker, the chafing dishes with the cookers, but a lot of them are moving to where, like, Lola Bean will show you, she's got like all of these warming cabinets. So I wondered how that would be different. So that's what I was gonna do, but now I see that this doesn't have a halo, which means I didn't cook it off, which I was like, I've done this before and have not cooked it off, so what happened? So I'm wondering if just some of these in this pack just aren't very halo-y. So now I'm not sure what we're gonna, I still want to do the Calypso because I've been wanting to do that forever. In fact, I put a comment on here because she took it down and I was like, is this pattern coming back? Because I really want to do it. And then she brought it back. So that's what I have wanted to do for a while. So the Calypso Shawlette, because it's crocheted, just mostly chains. It's very long and very long, very long and long, wide, and it's got a nice wingspan for being with how much yarn it takes. And it's good for, the cooler weather because it's so open. And MCN is my favorite base, so I was like, this is my favorite base, is this high twist MCN. I'm probably still going to do it anyway. I'm just not sure if we're going to bake it now because I have no idea what colors I want to make it at all. Like, I even went through my color inspiration. I have no idea. No idea what I want to do. I want it to be low contrast. I want it to be dark colors, and there's going to be some black on it, but other than that, I don't know. Inspiration has not hit me yet. And it better because we're coming up on dye day, so. Anyway, the other thing that we're making that I showed you last time is this Cross My Heart Spring Top by Pam Grice. And this we're making with the True Boo and the Naibu. Is that what they're called? From Lion Brand. We're going to try to make this out of them. So I'll be making 2 of these maybe. I'm going to start with whichever one has more closely matched. This is a $3 pattern. A free version is also available. Oh, okay, fine. I'll do this. I'll do the free version then. That probably just means I gotta sit there and do this. Anyway, that I think is my main project, is I'm gonna make at least one of those, probably two. I have the yarn for it. And so these will be to wear over these tops, which means I'll probably be wearing black tops. Here's the True Boo in, what color is this? Slate. So this is a gray. It's like a purpley gray, warm gray. Here, True Boo. And then the other color is, oh my god, Naibu. And this is in Thistle. This is a nice purple. Yeah, Thistle's pretty good. It's pretty good for, it's real soft. They're both real soft and slippery, like, this is what? Bamboo, and this is Lysol. Yeah. So they're pretty, they feel like it. They sure do feel like it. Now this one has less yardage, I think. Yeah, 85 grams, 157 yards, and this is 100 grams, 241 yards. So I'll probably make it in this first, unless the yardage fits with this, then I'll make this one first. I'm not sure, I gotta look at the pattern, but I'm planning on making both of them the same thing, because I don't know what else I'll do. I don't know what else to do with that yarn. Like, what am I gonna, that was an impulse buy because it was on clearance, and for some reason I only bought 3 of each, which is, I don't know what I was thinking. Who knows what I'm thinking half the time. But anyway, I think that will be real nice. It'll be like a little bit of a cover up, and then it won't be too hot. The other, I'm only planning, no, I'm not planning 3. This is the third project I have planned, is hilarious. It is the souffle top that I did not get done this month. So remember, the top of this is sheer, and you work one strand of mohair up here, and then there is a purl ridge to attach the ruffle, and then you work double strand mohair for the rest of it, so it's not as sheer. I never restarted mine. I messed up somewhere on the beginning, and I messed up the cast, not the cast. I think I dropped a stitch, but I couldn't see it to fix it. So I was only like 5 rows in, so I'm like, I'll just restart it. Only I haven't restarted it because I've had a million other things going on, so I just haven't got to it. So that was last month's dye. That was this month's dye project, which we didn't even get to. Well, that wasn't technically dye project, because technically the gray mohair was the dye project. So that was dumb of me. I should have just done one dye project and then just not told you about the other one. I did not think the brioche was going to take me so long, or what did the shorts, I don't know what I just could not focus this month at all. So so that's the Cross My Heart Spring Top, the Souffle, and the Calypso Shawlette. So the only other thing I'm going to be doing is with the knit crates, I'm going to be making, now these knit crates get both. They get a full version and a cropped version. So for the foreseeable future, I'm just going to be making these out of, which one is this? Oh, the yellow. Can I see the blue? I think the blue's the only one that really showed up, right? So we'll just be making, boom, boom, boom. We'll just keep making these. Actually, I'm going to start once I finish the one that's on my needles now, because that's a DK weight, and these are DK weight, so I need those needles for this. So we're just going to be making these until we're done, because it's already summer, and I want to get these done to wear. So yeah, I'll probably do the cropped ones first, I'm thinking. I'll work the cropped ones, and then just work the second one. Because then I only have to measure that, because if these, I'm going to count all my cropped ones of these, and if they're all 30 rounds of ribbing, I'm just going to do 30 rounds, because all of these fit great. These all fit differently, which I think, like the length, and I didn't use up all of it, because that was before I was counting the rows. Before I was counting rounds, and now I'm not, because it doesn't matter on this. It matters on the small ones, but on the big ones, I think there's too much too much stretching that happens. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is easier to fit because there's only 30 rounds, but this is like 100 and something, so it's harder to fit. Plus, there's more like blocking. There's more difference in there's more difference in your gauge with all, like, basically with this, so much can go wrong in this time and less can go wrong in this time. So I'm actually going to take all of I have 4 of these crops, and I'm going to see how many I did, and then whichever one is the biggest, that's what I'm going to do for these 3, and then the rest will just go till I'm out. We'll just go till I have 250 for the bind off, and that's how we'll do them. That's my plan. So the souffle will be my Monday through Friday till 5 o'clock, which will probably get it finished quite quickly. Then the Cross My Hearts will be at the night ones at the evenings, and then my nights will be my tops. And then once we finish all of those, and the Shawlette. Okay, so the Shawlette's probably going to be, I'm going to finish that in a weekend. I think we've gone over everything for June. So next week will be finished May projects, which, do you think I can get those last 2 projects done in a week? I don't know. Maybe, probably not, but I guess we'll see. That top's going to be done today because I don't feel like working on that brioche. That's the whole problem, is I don't feel like working on the brioche. I'm like, this is never going to get done, because I just look at it and I'm like, ugh. And it's not even, I just don't like it flat. I don't like, ugh. Here's the thing. I got noise canceling headphones today, so I'm hoping that's going to help me focus, because I think it's a focus issue, because I don't want to mess up. Especially with 2 strands and a strand of mohair. Like, ugh, I don't want to mess up here. So I think if I can focus, we'll get done. Right? Because Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Monday, Tuesday. I don't know that I'm gonna have to work through the weekend with this one to get it done. Ugh, that's so gonna suck. Okay, so I want to get the brioche done as fast as I can, so that the rest of it's just, because once the rest of it's gartered, it's just gonna blow by and it's not gonna matter. Everybody's sleeping. The end of the episodes, everyone's sleeping. I don't want to wake everybody up. Anyway, come back next week. We'll see what I managed to finish this month, and yeah, that's usually one of the episodes everybody wants to see what I did this month. That's usually one of my most popular episodes. So I don't think I'll have any squishy mail for you, though. Yeah, I bought some stuff, but not related to that. So we'll go over what I did and how I did it, and I don't think you can see it. There's a stink bug on the, I think it's just out of range. What was I talking about? The bus went by and I lost my train of thought. School buses are a PTSD trigger for me. That's why. I apologize. First time I was 12 years old. The first time I had a panic attack was waiting at the bus stop, and I saw my school bus come up the hill to get me, and I had a panic attack and I ran home and was pounding on the door to get back inside, and my mom freaked out. It was very, very bad. But anyway, school buses are a trigger, which is why I can't wait for summer. I don't see school buses anymore. Isn't that the weirdest thing to have an actual... I hate when people use the word triggered. I hate it unless it's in reference to actual PTSD triggers or any, because that's literally where the word came from. It will trigger you to a PTSD episode. I don't like to see school buses. Anyway, the more you know. I'm so excited to have these tops. I want to get these tops done so bad. So as soon as I finish this top, I'm probably going to finish this top today, tomorrow. And I'm going to start one of these tops immediately, probably the blue one, because I really like the blue one. Or should I do the blue one last? Because it's going to be my favorite. So should I do like the peach one first? I'm not going to want to finish it, but then I'm going to want to finish it if it gets me to the blue, right? So I do the blue last. Come back next week for May finished projects. I will see you next week. Take care of yourselves.